I recently introduced a free personalization technique into my marketing that increased my conversion by over 400%, and I'm going to show you how to do it as well. We know that personalization drives huge revenue. In fact, McKinsey reports that whilst over 71% of consumers expect personalization, brands that actually do it get a 40% increase in their revenue. I'm Gina. I'm a marketing director from South London. I've spent the last 15 years working in startups and scale-ups and building their marketing departments from scratch. I'm here to show you how to do great marketing through very little time, effort, and money, cutting through what big brands are doing and showing you how you can do it for free. This video is going to introduce you to the power of personalization in your marketing. I'm going to teach you the 3 different types of personalization you can have in marketing, and then I'm going to teach you 12 elements that you can add into your marketing today for completely free. And finally, I'm going to take you through the exact steps that I did to get a 400% increase on my conversion with no spend. Personalization has had a big play in the last few years. From Nike's personalized products to Uber reminding you of your first ride, for Skin and Me building a brand just for you, going to Penguin Random House's website and finding personalized recommendations, big brands are really cashing in on personalization. One of the biggest success stories for personalization is Discover Weekly by Spotify. In July 2015, Spotify launched Discover Weekly. This AI-driven tool understood people's tastes. It used listening data to build a taste profile of what people liked to listen to. It then used further AI tools to scan other people's generated playlists of billions of songs to find songs that fit with your taste profile. It then ran them through an algorithm which found songs that you had not yet listened to and built them into playlists for you. This meant that every Monday morning, every Spotify user had their own Discover Weekly, a compilation of tracks that they had never heard, but they were sure to like. This hyper-personalization drove huge revenue. Within 9 months, this made over $2 billion in revenue for Spotify, and by May 2016, they had seen an 80% year-on-year growth in revenue. Personalization builds huge amounts of revenue, but it also makes us think that you need AI. This is a huge misconception around personalization, and I'm here to squash that misconception. There are a ton of AI-powered tools on the market that do offer personalization, and yes, people like Amazon, people like Nike, people like Uber, people like EasyJet, they use AI to drive pure personalization. This often makes smaller brands or startups think that personalization is out of reach for them, but that is a huge misconception. Personalization does not mean AI-driven tooling that creates bespoke products or bespoke experiences. Personalization means tailoring your marketing and your messaging direct to people and adding a personal layer where they feel like it is for them and you understand them. So let's go through the 3 types of personalization that there are in marketing. That is product personalization, content personalization, and experiences personalization. When we think about product personalization, we think about actual customization. Things like the Share a Coke campaign when you had a Coke with your name on it, or the Dairy Milk campaign with your name on it. Things that are customized to people's names, to people's star signs, to something about them. Also tailoring products to individual needs. So different types of products for different types of people. You can have personalization for products that is led by yourself, so Nike ID, where you'll build your own shoe out of a set amount of options. Product personalization can also come in the shape of suggestions. This is what Amazon do a lot. It can also come in the shape of discounts and offers that are driven around products that you are more likely to buy. And product personalization is also in things like loyalty schemes and rewards. For content personalization, we obviously have emails. This is a huge one for small brands and startups. Segmentation by types of people, or even just having the name field, makes it feel more personal. We also have social and content, things that are segmented going out online, things that speak to one person only. This is very much based on the content you create. But we've also seen examples lately, people like North Face and people like Stanley doing ads or doing social media responses to one person directly. And by proxy of replying to one person, everyone thinks that that brand cares about that one person, therefore they must care about me. So personalization across social and content can be segmented into audiences, things like localization, things like time zones, but Recently, we've seen a lot of brands do personalization by hyper-focusing on one customer because you just automatically assume that if they care about that one customer, they will also care about you. With content personalization, we also have things like adverts, we have websites, so servicing different websites for different users, and we also have communication. So any CRM system that you have where you can personalize your messaging is all part of content personalization. UGC, or user-generated content, is also embedded in this content personalization. This is where you are getting people to create their own content that is bespoke to them, but for your brand. The biggest winner in this is Starbucks. They purposely spell people's names wrong in order for you to take a photo and upload it to social, sharing your own content personal to yourself, but also referencing the brand. It makes you feel like you are special in that brand and you are part of their brand story. Starbucks do it incredibly well. It's not a mistake. They know how to spell your name. It's one of the biggest marketing ploys in the world for free. And then the last way that we have personalization is with experiences. So personalization of experiences with your brand. And this is things like events, programs, workshops, interactive experiences, QR codes on packaging. The actual experience of interacting with your brand is significant to one person and dedicated and directed to one type of person. So when we look at marketing, there's actually only 3 different types of personalization. There's product, content, and experience. So how do you actually do it? I'm going to give you 12 really easy free ways to do it. The easiest way to do it yourself is things like email segmentation. So you can use any email provider to segment out your audience based on what their customer profile is and have that name field so every piece of communication is direct to them. Another way is to do product recommendations. So when you're building out your segments, understand which products work for those audiences and only send them those products. Whilst you're doing product recommendations, make sure that you are telling them why it works for them. This is a free way to do personalization. You understand what their pain point is, you know how you're serving it, and you tell them. You personalize your message direct to that user of why that product works for them. So personalization can be as simple as someone who's purchased something from you before getting a special gift. A third way to do personalization is targeted discounts and deals. And one of the easiest and highest converting ways to do this is around someone's birthday. Despite sharing it with millions of others, our birthday feels incredibly personal to us. Brands that remember someone's birthday purely from your data capture and send a personalized offer on their birthday see a higher conversion than brands that don't because you feel like someone has remembered your special day. A fourth way to bring in personalization is to localize your marketing. Speak around things that are happening in someone's area. Special holidays, special events, big moments that have happened. Jumping on trends that are relevant to a certain set of people makes them think that you're personalizing your advertising towards them. They feel like they're part of who you are. Another way you can offer personalization is by aligning people through different labels they give themselves. One of the most common ways to do this is via people's star signs. By grouping people together by the month they are born, you can build out personalized products that are simply segmented across the year. Number 7 is you can actually build targeted communications through email providers. So people like MailChimp, people like Sendinblue, when you have a segment, you can actually build out nurture sequence afterwards that will follow up on that customer. What do I mean by this? I mean, if you have purchased a sofa, you will go into a pool of people who have purchased a sofa. You can then follow up with targeted communication that isn't selling, but is referencing a product they've purchased. If it's been 6 months since purchase, you can ask them how the product is going. What I like to do is build out content that is personalized to the buyer, send them a list of the top 6 movies to watch. Build out personalization that isn't salesy, but shows them that you know who they are as a customer and who they are as a buyer. A lot of free email providers offer a nurture sequence where you can personalize your content directly to people where they feel it's individual, but it's product-led. The 8th way to do personalization for free is through your customer service. Make sure you have a customer service that speaks directly to the person, calling them by their name and understanding who they are. Ask probing questions at the beginning, write them down and remember them. Things like Zendesk and third-party providers for customer service do this kind of data gathering at the beginning to make it feel personal, but you can do it yourself for free by making sure your customer service really pays attention to who that person is and references their name back, their product back, and something else they've said. This personalization is very easy to input, but it makes that customer feel like you really understand them and you really listened. It's a good tip in life as well. If someone tells you their name, remember it and call them by it at least once. It makes them feel like you know who they are. The 9th way to do it is user-generated content. We know Starbucks is smashing it, but you can do UGC yourself. User-generated content is sometimes as simple as taking a photo from your brand with a hashtag and sharing it and asking people to do it as well. The best way to do UGC is to set people a challenge or ask people a question. But UGC is very powerful because social has a habit of picking up on things. So the more you put out there, the more likely it is to snowball and get picked up. But also it's very, very personal. You're talking direct to one customer. And whilst we're on social, the 10th way to do personalization for free, reply to all your comments. Reply to your comments either as a founder or as someone with a name, so you are bridging that gap between brand and people and making it very personal. The 11th way, I'm going to tell you to do personalization yourself, handwritten notes. When you are a small brand or a business and you're starting out and you're getting your first customers, taking the time to write a note or a personalized message is the best thing that you can do when you're starting out. That person feels they know you and you know them, and you took time out of your day to write them a note. It's hugely overlooked in personalization because people get lost in AI and they forget that the handwritten and the homemade is actually what attaches us emotionally to a brand. And the 12th way I'm going to tell you to introduce personalization for completely free, before I give you my hack that increased my conversion by 400%, is to tell your story. Personalization in marketing is not just about making people feel that they are going on a journey and it's bespoke to them. It's about meeting them where they are and realizing that it's an exchange of people and humans. Telling your story is a free way that you can build in personalization into your marketing efforts. It makes you into a person. It makes your interactions with other people feel like an exchange rather than a sales barter system. So make sure you have your brand story and make sure you're telling people. And now, on to the big things. In my job, where I'm the marketing director, we sell products. We sell digital and we sell physical products. And a lot of that we sell via email. We have hundreds of thousands of people signed up for emails and we send a lot of emails. But we were only getting about 1% conversion on our emails. So how come we've got 100,000 people that care about us and the products we make, but they're not converting? First off, we obviously started segmenting. We made it more personal. We bucketed people, we understood what the products they liked, but I still wasn't seeing an increase in conversion. And then I remembered something that I purchased a few years ago. I've worked with hundreds of startups and small brands, and one really sticks in my head. It's a hair care brand called Shampoo. Now, Shampoo is a hair care brand where you go onto their website and you take a quiz. You answer questions, you put in your information, and then right at the end, you get served a product that is right for you. I did this. I went on the website, I took their hair quiz, I answered all my questions, it served me the product, it told me what the product did, and I bought that product. Unbeknownst to me, that company only sold 2 products at the time. So it was 50-50 which product I was going to get. But that journey made me believe that they had made a product simply for me. And I'm here to tell you that the perception of personalization is just as powerful as personalization. So don't waste your money on third-party AI tools. This made me think, how do I bring that into what I'm doing with my emails? Well, I built a very simple decision tree in Typeform, which led the user to 4 different products. You answer 4 questions about how you use our products and what you're looking for, and you're served 4 different options. I then changed my shop button on my email to find your perfect product. This change and this Typeform saw my conversion go up to nearly 5%, which is staggering. By introducing another step in the buyer journey, some people would think you were putting people off. But this layer of personalization was so powerful, my conversion went up by 400%. Both MailChimp and Typeform have free starter versions. So to increase your conversion through personalization, all you need to do is get yourself some paper, make yourself a little decision tree of options to get to your products, and then let your customers pick their own product. Hope you found this interesting. Please do like, subscribe, and follow along for more.